single day. I'm gonna make something great.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It feels so good to sit in front of this camera once again after so long. I actually think this has been the longest I've been gone on YouTube. I think it's 6 months or 7 months, I think so. I'd like to welcome everyone first who just recently joined us, who recently joined the family. You're welcome to this channel. I'd like to also thank you guys for staying subscribed to my channel. It's so wonderful to see the channel growing, and I was like, oh my god, it kept on growing. I wasn't posting anything, but the channel kept on growing, and glory could only go to God. So because we have grown so much, so much, I really wasn't anticipating. I think when I started this channel, I didn't think I would actually have more than 1,000 subscribers, because I'm like, who would want to listen to me, honestly speaking? But you know, God is so faithful, and when he says he should start something, you should just listen to him, and he will just carry on and doing amazing things. So as a result, we're having a giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers. I know it's late, I think we're at 1.3 now, but I still need to do the giveaway because, well, we deserve it. So on the giveaway box, we're gonna have this book and something else. I'll put other things. I will tell you at the end of the video what you need to do in order for you to get this book. I just recently received it. I haven't read it yet. I'm actually gonna come here and review it, but it's by Osipokazi Somzana. She is from the Eastern Cape, Flagstaff. I love the theme. I love the title of the book. Just even before reading it, it says "Young and Crazy in Love with Jesus," and I was like, this is a book I should be getting. Literally, if you don't win it, please go buy it. You can get it from Take a Lot, or actually DM her at Sipokazi Writes on Instagram. So okay, let's put that aside. So welcome everyone. I haven't done this in a long time, okay guys, and so mine and because I'm like, what's happening? But it feels good to be back. It feels amazing to be here. First things first, let me clear out something also. I think we posted the pregnancy photo shoot, my husband and I received such amazing messages from you guys, and your Sana, they were so emotional. I really didn't think it was going to be that deep, honestly speaking. It took me a while to actually even post. For most of you who don't know me personally or haven't seen me, I have already given birth. I'm already snatched. But you know, faith, guys. I'm already snatched. We have a baby. She was 6 weeks last week, so she is almost 7 weeks. Tomorrow actually she's turning 7 weeks. She was born on the 6th of September 2023 at 4:10 in the morning, after a very hectic night that I've had. And to be quite frank with you guys, I think that was the most painful experience, physically so, of my life, yet so rewarding at the end of the day. She is growing so fast. She is beautiful. She's the apple of our eye, guys. We look at her and we really can't believe we have a baby. Like, we have a human being. We have someone who's dependent on us. And that has taught me so much about also just the relationship, about, you know, me and God, and me being a child of God, and how I need to be more dependent on him and just be a child. Like, you know, when he says that the kingdom of heaven is for people who have an attitude like kids, who are like children, particularly. I understand why now that I have a child. Like, it makes sense. So yeah, no man, that's not the point here. This is just, by the way, so we have a daughter. I know, I think I saw some people and they were looking for the pregnancy, and I was like, guys, I gave birth already. So we already gave birth. It's just that we posted a month later. I wanted to be in a bubble for a while and kind of like get to understand the stage of life that I was in. So if you guys know, or for those who just joined the channel probably don't know, we got married last year on the 3rd of December. Fortunately or blessed, we have a honeymoon baby, yeah, because our child was literally conceived on our honeymoon. I keep on laughing because there's a video on our way to our honeymoon that we were saying, like we were making a video, and I kept on saying we're going to a honeymoon to go make some babies, and I was literally joking. My makeup is so smudged, son. Like my eyes, look at them. And I'm like, I don't care, guys. And as for me and my house, it's right. Oh, man, the makeup is all okay. I'm waiting, like we didn't sleep. Honestly speaking, we didn't sleep. Right now we are taking our flight to our honeymoon to make some babies.
I didn't know.
I think that was going to really happen. So it happened. It really happened, and we keep on laughing and saying that honestly, there's nothing that is a joke. So we need to be really careful what we say, because God listens to us. And I think most of the other things is that one of the questions when we're getting married, matrimonial service there too, our bishop asked if do we want to have kids, and we looked at each other and laughed and we said yes. He literally prayed. So there were those, those things that I really understand why it came through. So first thing first, I also I didn't say first things first, these are second things. So I also put out a questions tag on Instagram, and honestly I didn't know that people were actually going to respond to that, and you guys actually responded and really asked questions. And what I will do, I will answer the questions in a story form. I think that would be better. Most of the questions that you guys asked are questions that I was going to cover on the video either way, but I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't leaving anything out, and also giving you an opportunity, because I was gone for so long. This is like a life update to say where we are, how the journey has been. I'm also going to do a video with my husband where we're going to discuss in terms of parenthood, our marriage, like everything together, and just be frank and genuine with you guys about the journey in marriage that we've had. And obviously ours is very different because in our first year of marriage we got pregnant, so our life was a bit hectic the first time we got married. So I do think it's very different. Probably people have experienced this, but I don't know of anyone who has had the same experience as me, and I do want to share it with people that have never had people who had that same experience. So one of the most important questions, where did we plan the pregnancy? No, but yes. The pregnancy wasn't planned. So one of the things that came up in our therapy sessions, or counseling sessions, of therapy is my own counseling sessions, we brought up the fact that I was very fearful of the fact that I just might not have kids, or might not have children. Reason being is that I'm born into a family. My grandmother only has one kid, and my great grandmother has one kid, and my grandmother has two kids. So my family from my dad's side, they're not really fertile, let me put it like that. But from my mom's side, well, yeah, they're really fertile. So I think because I had terminated a pregnancy, it has always been in my mind that what if that was the only chance for me to have a kid. And truth be told, I've always wanted to be a mom. As much as I've never said it out loud, because I was a bit nervous about it, or I didn't want people to know that I actually really want to be a mom. I was also just trying to be cool about it. When you want something so badly and you end up not receiving it, I think I was in that space. But what if, Lord, I don't receive this, yet I want it so badly? So but my husband knew my fears even before we got married. It's something that I usually shared with him, that I am very scared. So one of the things we discussed most in our counseling sessions were the fact that I am very fearful, and they had to counsel me. And I don't want to lie, I was given hope more than anything, and that even if it happens that I do not have kids, it'll still be amazing. And my husband could continually say that I'm not marrying you for you to have kids, I'm marrying you because I love you and I really want to spend the rest of my life with you. And that was reassuring. But I don't want to lie, deep down I still wanted to be a mom. I don't know if it was like this deep desire that I felt like I was going to be fulfilled after being a mom. I really don't know, but I really wanted to be a mom, guys. And I don't think any of my friends knew that this is how much I wanted to be a mom, except my husband. So I'm saying no, it wasn't planned, because the time that it happened, it wasn't the time that we expected it to happen. But also we weren't doing anything, that we weren't taking any precautions for it not to happen. So I'm saying yes in that regard, that it happened because we weren't taking any precautions, but also we did not expect it to happen that soon, obviously. Secondly, how I found out is my husband actually, okay, so during the December holidays when we were at home, towards the end of December and beginning of January, I remember my friend was getting married on the 1st of January, so our friend. So I was feeling a bit funny, and I asked my husband that we should get a pregnancy test, and it was negative, and I was like, oh, dodged the bullet there. I was happy. But now that I think about it, it was too early maybe for us to actually do the pregnancy test. So we continued with life. I believed that I wasn't pregnant, but my husband kept on saying to me that you were pregnant. And he'd say it laughing, because I remember we would be at the shops and he'd literally pick up diapers and be like, we should be buying these. And I'll be laughing. I'm like, bro, I'm not pregnant at all. Okay, my nose is itchy. I don't know why. So, but it was a joke for me. Like, it really was a joke, and I didn't want it to be true at that moment, because I was like, okay, what if I really am pregnant? So I was at work. We came back to East London. I was at work and I was not feeling well for a while. Obviously there were other signs that I wasn't going my period and stuff like that, but that for me was not an alarm, because I would miss my periods for 2 months and that would not be an issue, because I know that I wasn't engaging in sexual intercourse at that particular time. So I wasn't scared that I was pregnant, honestly speaking. So, but even this time around, I thought, it's one of those things. But when I didn't feel well, I decided to go to the staff clinic, and at this point I wanted to draw bloods rather for me, because I was like, we did a pregnancy test and guys, it was clear blue. So I was like, if a clear blue does not tell us, we really just need to draw bloods and see what's happening. So I went to the staff clinic, and then the nurse actually advised me to actually do another pregnancy test. So I told, because she was like, when did you have taken? I told her when, and she was like, okay, I think it was too early, let's do another pregnancy test, the urine test, as well as draw the bloods. And we did that. We drew the bloods and we did the urine pregnancy test. So when we did that, I remember her going to the bathroom and actually going to look at the test, and she called me. The way she was calling me, I just knew there was something wrong. I was like, hey. So immediately, like, I just went to the bathroom and I was just carrying my phone, and the test was positive. The first thing I did obviously was to take a picture for my husband. At the time I remember he wasn't working, so he was at home in our apartment where we used to stay. I sent him the picture. He literally responded by coming to work and see me. I texted my mom, just wrote mama. She called, and we called my mom in love. So to her, I was like, her son did something bad, and she was so fearful, because she was like, so early, what did he do? And I told her that I was pregnant. She was excited. So parents were very excited. I don't know why, because I'm like, guys, isn't it too early? But they were really, really excited. My mom was excited. My mom-in-law was like ecstatic. My husband was excited. But as for me, I was I started being frustrated more than being excited, because now my mind went on, baby, we need clothes, we need this, we need that, we need that. And my husband at the time was not working, he was unemployed, and I really didn't know how long that was going to be for. We both didn't know, but yeah, we kept on saying that in Feb he needs to go back to work. And the joke we used to make Endlin was he was having he was taking leave, unpaid leave, unfortunately, for the whole of January. So we had faith that he was going to eventually work, but obviously the reality was that he wasn't working. So there was like the truth and the reality, and the truth is probably God was going to give him a job, and the reality was that he was not working and we don't know when. And so for me, I was a bit stressed, but I couldn't be very stressed out, especially understanding that this was our first pregnancy with my husband. My first husband has never had an experience of having someone who's pregnant, so this was his first child, and he was so excited about it. So I had to talk down, and be okay that moment. But as the months went by, my husband got a job, but now the job was in Queenstown, it wasn't in East London, so he had to leave town. I think I became more stressed, because now I was like, okay, now the baby's gonna be here. Yes, husband is working, but then again, I'm gonna be raising this child alone. So that was very stressful for me as well. It was very, very stressful. I was really, really stressed about that. I never thought I was gonna be as stressed as that. However, the first trimester was not bad on me. I wasn't vomiting, I wasn't sick. The only thing is that I was really tired. I'd come back from work and I'd be very tired and sleep, which is normal. That was my normal lifestyle even before I was pregnant. That I'd come back from work, sleep, wake up at some point and cook. It was a normal routine for me. Second trimester, I gained a bit of weight. What else happened? Body was changing. If you knew me, you would see there was something up. If you knew me really, really well. Some people just thought that I was gaining weight, from being married to being happy. Yes, I was, but I was also baking. So at that point, that my body was changing, I still wasn't sick. The other thing that I was experiencing at that point was also indigestion. So every time I'd eat, I'd feel like the food wasn't digested, and it was just here. So I started drinking Gaviscon. It really helped me out. So second trimester and first trimester were really not hectic in terms of physical situations. I wasn't sick. I gained a bit of weight on my second trimester. Did I say semester or trimester? I think I said semester and trimester, guys. Trimester. So it wasn't bad at all. Those trimesters were both not bad, because I remember I even went to Tata for media conference in church. For people that knew, especially older people, if you looked at me, you would see that I was pregnant. But for young people and Obanda Bango Tata, they wouldn't notice there was actually a significant change. So my second trimester ended, was it end of June, beginning of July. So we came back. I remember I came back with my nephews and niece, as well as my sister-in-law. So that week I started being really sick. I went to work and I started experiencing this excruciating pain in my lower abdomen. I thought it was going to pass by, and probably I worked too hard that day. I sat down trying to relax and whatnot. So I came back home, the pain was still there. Woke up in the morning, pain was still there, and as I was at work the whole day, and during the day, it just became worse. So I decided to go see my gynae, because I thought, what if something is wrong? So I went to see my gynae. Baby was fine, but he was like, I think you are very strained, because we're talking about the size of the baby, because my baby was very big as well for my body, because I was petite, and I'm generally petite, and also my pelvis is not that broad. So Nje was just squashed, and honestly speaking, it was really, really painful. It became so painful. So what he feared most was that I was going to go to preterm labor. So he decided to put me on bed rest, as well as give me a pill that helps to prevent contractions or prevent the baby from coming. It's like to prevent preterm labor basically. So he put me on bed rest for a week, and we were like, okay, if the pain is better, then I can go back to work, but if it's persistent, then we'd have to make another plan. So I really hoped that the pain was going to be fine, that I only just needed to rest and then go back to work, but nope, it wasn't better, it was just getting worse. Nice thing is that we were sure that the baby was not going to come and that I was safe, but I needed to play more safe, that I couldn't go to work anymore. So I was booked off sick for July, and then he asked me to take early maternity leave. That was in August. So I was not allowed to do anything. I was supposed to be in bed the whole time, not do chores, not cook, and besides everything else, like it was painful. Like walking to the bathroom was really painful. Like walking was just a mission for me. I'd literally force myself sometimes when we go see a doctor, those days when I went for my review, to kind of like just walk, because your guys being in bed, like I thought, I like to sleep generally, but when you are forced to sleep, it's not nice at all. And as a result, because I was sitting in bed and not doing anything and not talking to anyone, because I had to, like, I actually even moved to Queenstown with my husband because he thought it would be better for him to take care of me, as much as he was going to be at work during the day, but you know, at night he was going to be around on days that he was not on call. So now I was mostly alone during the day, especially when he's on call as well. I was alone at night, so like my mind went sideways. Like I felt at some point that I was like losing it. Like, yo guys, the thoughts, I was so scared, I was so fearful. I was fearful for the fact that what if we don't have enough money to raise a baby? What if baby Lavi does not actually, husband does not move to Islanda, and that we don't eventually get a job? Like I was so scared, I was fearful. What if I don't have the capacity to be a mom? What if I'm not, like, I genuinely know that I'm not into kids that much, especially babies. I really genuinely never knew what to do with babies, because I'm like, you don't talk. I don't know what's painful. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I thought, like, what if I fail as a mom? Like it was just those small things that would come to heart, that what if I'm not good enough? And mostly, like, I think the most thing that I was fearful of was that what if our marriage doesn't work out, because now we've brought a baby in the first day of our marriage. I don't know, if we haven't bonded that much, we didn't stay together. Literally me being sick was the first time of us staying together. So I was like, honestly speaking, but I was really terrified also with the fact that we had just gotten married and now we have a baby coming by, and we have to do a lot of things, financially speaking as well. I just also, at some point, I also felt like we went jelly, because, well, I think husband was used to staying alone. I was used to staying alone. So he come back from work, would speak a little bit, and then would carry on with our lives like the other person is not there. And that really terrified me. I even asked him, like, before that, I remember the other day I had a panic attack, and fortunately he was around. We spoke and I told him my fears, and also obviously we had to started to be intentional about spending time together, like really spending time together. Also, I think also that phase of my life drew me closer to God, because I was at home and sitting and not talking to anyone, I was really forced to pray more. And you know, the Holy Spirit was like to me, I'm very intentional. You know, it's a joke that we usually make here, actually, that nothing is a coincidence. We don't believe in coincidences. If a day happens and you meet a particular person that certain day, we always say that God meant it for it to happen like that. So, you know, me being sick was like, it felt like it wasn't a coincidence, that it was actually time for me to spend with my husband, and also time for me to spend in prayer, because you know, when you're pregnant, you go to work, you are tired, you come back, you sleep, you wake up, you kind of like pray because you have to, not because you are spending time or having like devotion. I'd read the word, but it wasn't intentional as I would like it to be, because I was really exhausted most of the time. So now, because I was at home and not doing, I had more time to spend with the Lord, and actually literally, you know, cast my burdens unto him, literally speak my heart, and actually kind of like tell him what was in my heart and what I wanted, what I needed, and actually also have questions to say that, Lord, I don't believe that you can give us a child and have me raise it alone. I don't believe that. So I also started to intentionally pray about my husband coming back to East London to stay with us, and also I remember also he was in fasting and prayer for his own stuff, but I also think the job thing was also something that he was also praying about, but we were also both praying about. So I think we were, during that month, or it's August, he got a call that he needs to submit his things in East London, and he was getting a job, and that happened. He submitted his things, and towards the end, okay, so the promise was at the beginning of September he was going to start working in East London. And fortunately, I felt like it was so intentional, because I was giving birth. I was supposed to give birth on the 13th of September, but I wanted to give birth on the 3rd of September. Like, I was like, I want to be induced, because I was in pain, I was exhausted, my body was just not having it anymore. So I was like really hopeful that we are going to move to East London together, so that we can, when we move officially, you know, I'm also going to be giving birth. But towards the end of the month, that was towards the end of August, we receive a call, or he receives a call from the HOD of the department that he was supposed to be employed under, telling him that unfortunately the post was not available anymore. It belonged to a certain hospital. Now the certain hospital wants its post back. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I remember him telling me, and that moment when he told me that he was no longer going to East London, I looked at him and I was like, that's a lie. Not to him, but I was like, the devil is a liar. One thing that's gonna happen, my husband is going back to East London. I don't know when, I don't know how, I don't know what God is gonna do, and I refuse to even be stressed about it. I was like, you know what? When he leaves tomorrow in the morning, I'm gonna start praying and I'm gonna tell God that it cannot happen like that. We cannot have that. Like, I literally applied crazy faith where things were this way, and I was like, no, they are not this way. Yes, reality, truth. Like, during my pregnancy, literally I had to kind of like lean into God for the truth, lean into God for his provision, and just how he sees things, like now, like the faith aspect of things that, you know, God was calling us into when we first entered our marriage. Literally, we had to apply it. Like, I had to apply it. No, it was no longer like the theory part of it, but it was application, where things are looking like this and you're just like, nope, it's not. It's really not. These may look like dry bones, but definitely these dry bones literally can leave, honestly speaking. So I remember that morning when he left, I told God that, Lord, I refuse to believe this. I don't know who you're gonna talk to, or what's gonna happen, or how it's gonna happen. And obviously, I don't think I should be worried about that, the logistics of everything. But what I need at this point is that I need to stay with my husband. We need to raise a child together. We need to work on our marriage. We need to kind of like be married. Yes, we are married, but now I just still feel like a girlfriend, because he stays in another town 2 hours away from me. Some weekends he can't come back because he's on call. So I literally still feel like a girlfriend, and I don't think when you wanted us to get married, you wanted us to be married, long distance marriage. I don't think that was a plan for us. So literally that weekend that we were supposed to come back in, either way we came back to East London because I was having a review. So we came back on the day of our doctor's appointment. he receives an email again that he needs to submit his things and let them try again and see what's available. Remember, we didn't call anyone, we didn't talk to him, we don't know anyone that was gonna help us in that regard. So literally they called us, they sent him an email saying that he should send his things, and he did. Following morning they called him saying that he should come and sign. Okay, they sent him an appointment letter, so he should sign it. So now at this point, like, the Holy Spirit was just like, I'm assuring you guys that this is happening, because the last time he did not sign the appointment letter, and I thought he was gonna sign it when he starts working, but at this point he signed it, like even before he started working, he signed the appointment letter, which was amazing. God came through for us. So I'm trying to give you a view of how my life has been during my pregnancy, or our life has been during our pregnancy. It wasn't the easiest of the journeys. This year hasn't been the easiest. I think I wrote on my caption on Instagram that this was not the easiest of the years. I questioned myself so much, but yet again it made me rely on God so much. I realized that there's only so much my strength can do, and there's only so much we can plan. Like, we can plan this much, but at the end of the day, the Lord's plan does prevail. So in being pregnant at this time, it really wasn't our plan. It wasn't what we thought was going to happen, and obviously because I was so worried about not having kids, in our counseling sessions, nobody advised us in terms of how long we should wait before we had kids. I remember before we got married, we used to speak about waiting for 2 years before we actually had kids, but that didn't happen. Like, it really didn't happen. I don't know why we didn't take precautions for us to actually, stick to the 2-year plan. But now that we have met our daughter, now that everything has happened the way it has happened, now that my husband has moved, and we have moved from the place we were staying in, because it was very small and cramped and hot, didn't have a yard for our kids to play, so there was just a lot of things that were just not making me happy. And because we say we're faithful God, we managed to move, we managed to have a baby, healthy baby, very good looking baby. As much as it wasn't planned, but it has been good. We are figuring things out, taking it one day at a time. Marriage has been also something that we have had to be intentional about, like loving each other, going out on dates, spending time with each other. Literally, we have to be intentional about, but no, now we are spending time together, we are giving to our helper. There's just a lot. I remember this past weekend, there was a worship encounter that he was playing in, and I really wanted to go. We literally had to call my mom and be like, we are babysitting. So also we just have to be intentional about realizing that we are also young, and we need to give ourselves time to be young and be together, and not always be with baby, not always talk about baby. As much as it's very hard not to talk about her, because, well, she really occupies most of our lives, I guess, most of our things. If we're buying things, we need to think about her first, more than we think about ourselves. But nonetheless, it is working out. It hasn't been horrible at all. I think probably we still have the excitement of having Daddy with us, Daddy being husband, her Daddy, my husband. Being husband, living with us, it's quite exciting. Even just having him, like, just hearing his car parking, and like that excitement that my husband is coming back home has just been amazing. Like, it has been amazing. God has been good to us, as much as everything hasn't been easy, but God has remained being faithful and being good. So I'm coming to the end of this video, in terms of the story, and I hope that I shared, or I kind of like gave you guys a life update of some sort. I think the next video that we'll be doing, and that we like going into details more, will be the video that I'll be doing with my husband. But I wanted to put up this video first, and just say that I'm back. Thank you for waiting and being patient with me. Also, thank you also for just checking up on me. And also, I'm sorry that I did not give you guys the content, that I'm pregnant and keep on taking snaps and what's in my hospital bag. I really would have loved to do that. However, my condition, the way my life was set up was not going to allow me to do that. I needed to immerse myself in prayer. Also, I remember just telling one of my friends that I think I'm also at a stage where I don't know anything. Like, when you are entering into a phase of your life and you are like andazito, like I didn't know anything and I didn't want to talk much because I just felt like I was relearning everything, or learning new things. Actually, not relearning, let me just say learning new things about the journey that I'm in, and just learning how to trust God more, really trust Him more. I remember also we just went back at the beginning of the year. We were reading the Old Testament, and God was just reminding me when I started reading the Word. I went back to Proverbs, that those were the books that I used to read when I started being saved, or Psalm. So it was like I was being reborn. I don't know, like being a child and taking baby steps into kind of like growing again. And it is ironic because I was being a child and I was expecting a child. I don't know if anyone is catching it, but as much as that was happening, I also just loved being in the bubble and enjoying the pregnancy, without the outside pressure of having to kind of share my journey, share my anxiety with the world. I really wanted to just share my anxiety with my God and my husband, and it was just like yeah. So that was what happened. So I disappeared for a while. I promise you guys, I'm never gonna disappear for this long ever again. I cannot promise that I will not disappear. We're parents now. Life can get in the way. A lot can happen, but what I can promise is that always know that I'm gonna come back. And obviously, if I'm not around, I am in the presence of the Lord, and God is saying a lot of things. Also, the other thing is, I was also telling my husband, was that at the beginning of this pregnancy, I also felt like God was like really, really quiet about this. You know how when I always start journeys, I don't know if you guys, if you know me, you know that when I'm gonna start anything, I'm starting a job, I'm being married for like God always says something. If I'm starting a relationship, like there's always a word that I receive from Him, and I wasn't receiving any word from Him. Like there wasn't a pregnancy word, a word that was designed to kind of like help me through the no, I wasn't. Literally being funo Zakaria, guys. Like it made no sense. Like talking about tithing, and I'm just like, am I starting all over in salvation? What's going on? Like I literally, also that was also making me panic, because I just also felt like God was quiet. Until towards the pregnancy, when the stresses were down and I was staying with my husband. Okay, the stresses were still there because I still didn't know that he was going to move to East London, but finally I received a word from the Lord. Mostly it was a praise item. It wasn't something that he was saying about the pregnancy, but it was the word that resonated with me. I don't know if you remember the story when Mary was expecting Jesus and he went to see her cousin Elizabeth was expecting John. There's a song of Mary that was in my heart from the day it was laid by the Holy Spirit. And I don't know how I bumped into it, because I was in the Old Testament, so I don't know how I got into the New Testament. But I'm reading it from the Message version. I want to share it. It says that I am bursting with good news. I'm dancing the song of my Savior God. God took one good look at me, and look what happened. I am the most fortunate woman on earth. What God has done for me will never be forgotten. The God whose very name is holy set apart from all others. His mercy flows in wave after waves on those who are in awe before him. He bared his arms and showed his strength. He scattered the bluffing braggarts. He knocked tyrants off their high horses and pulled victims out of the mud. The starving poor sat down to the banquet. The callous rich were left out in the cold. He embraced his chosen child, Israel. He remembered and piled on the mercies and piled them high. It's exactly what he promised, beginning with Abraham and right up to now. So I am living in God's promise above everything else. I love the last part that it was like an assurance for me to say that where I am is exactly what God promised. It is nothing short of what he has promised me. It is actually beyond what he has promised. And because he's a God who keeps his word, when we enter our marriage, God gave us Psalm 139. That's he continually say, I think it's an NIV version, that I'll be there. That even when you make your bed in the deepest, darkest valleys, I'll be there. Even if you are in high mountains, I'll be there. And continuously, he constantly say that I will be there with you. And that is a promise that we got into a marriage with, that God will be there every step of the way. And to be quite frank with you, he has been there. I know there were moments where it felt like he was quiet, but there's not a second that I thought that he was not there, or I felt like he wasn't there. Yes, he was quiet, but I knew that he was there. Like, his presence was undeniable, that he was carrying us, and he's been providing for us. Has, like, literally all the things that we wrote down after we knew that we were pregnant, the moving, the staying together, the provision for baby, God literally did every single thing, nothing short. He actually even gave us help that we didn't expect, like good help, because it's also very hard to find good help, especially when you are having a baby for the first time. You're obviously frustrated. You want someone who's able to help you as well raise this kid, and God did that for us. He literally did exceedingly abundantly above, as he has promised in his word. And honestly, I keep on saying that I feel like the most fortunate woman on earth. Like, I relate to Mary, guys, when he says that, people would just take one look at her and say that, oh, you are highly favored. I think that another version says that people would look at me now, they will call me blessed or favored. And I literally I feel like I am in that phase of my life where people look at my life and they say, you are truly blessed. And I look at my life and I'm like, oh Lord, you have blessed me. What is man? Who am I that you are so mindful of? And God has been so mindful of us, of our family, and we continuously pray that he carries us through this journey of marriage. We are praying for more years. We are praying for intentionality in our marriage. We are also praying for just relying on him more. That what he has taught us this season, we don't forget it, because it happens, that uThixo anifundise into of a particular season, and when trouble comes later on, you forget that you were taught to rely on God. You panic again. That we constantly learn that whatever we are doing, wherever we are, or wherever you are also in your life, no matter if it doesn't look like what you have planned, I still do believe that it's exactly what God has planned. It's exactly what God has promised, and you are exactly where God wanted you to be. It literally, I was listening to this other YouTuber who was saying that she's living in the midst of her prayers, and I was thinking, Lord, yes, when I even started this YouTube channel, I could only just imagine being married. I could only just imagine being a mom. Like, it was just something that was so far-fetched for my mind, because I didn't think it was possible. But I used to pray about it, to say about one day when I get married, one day when I have my own place, one day when I become a mom, and I'm living exactly that at this point. So oh my gosh, I feel like this has been so long, but you guys know that I haven't done this in such a long time, and it was like there was so much that I needed to share with you. Also, I don't know what's going on, but yeah, either way, Sloop is not our mother tongue. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you will come back to this channel for the giveaway. So what I want you guys to do for the giveaway, I want you guys to share how God has remained faithful to you this year. Make it personal. I want you to make it personal because I am very personal when it comes to this channel. Like, I share the most personal stuff about myself, and I'd really like to hear from you guys as well. Like, in the comment section, just say how God has been faithful, and I will see how we will make or choose the person that will win this. Just do that. Oh, also make sure that you're following me on Instagram. Tag me on Instagram as well, posting that young and crazy love with Jesus, just and tag me, and tag Usipokazi Sonzana as well. It's called at Sipokazi Rights. So basically just say, so those are the 3 things. Share how God has been faithful. Go on my Instagram, follow me. Also write, tag me, writing crazy, young and crazy love with Jesus. You can even get a cover of this book. I think you can get it off Takelit and reshare it or repost it on your story, and also tag who at Sipokazi Rights. Thank you so much. I hope you guys will do that, and can't wait to put together the giveaway box. We'll announce the winner on my next video, and I will probably, if you are the winner, I'll DM you and ask for details for me to send the package to you. It'll be like a very nice, cute package filled with Jesus stuff. Obviously, I'll also share it on here on YouTube, a video on what is inside that packet when it's all connected. For now, I just know that this book will be here, and when I do the review of the book, I'll also just share what I've learned, and also just share the box as well. So without further ado, thank you so much once more. Just always know that, guys, I love you so much, and most importantly, God loves you, and enjoy the rest of your day.